Okay, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Some dumb guy here and some dumb kitty here. Say hello to Sugars. Hey, Sugars. Some dumb mascot. The official sponsor of the Some Dumb Guy channel. I've got stuff. Would you like to see? Let's share. In March, last month, officially now, Criterion had one of their illustrious 50% off sales. I took advantage. I never go big because, let's face it, even at a 50% off sale, Criterion can be painful sometimes, and it's real easy to go overboard. So when they have a sale, I tend to do about 4 titles, try to get about $100 worth of physical media goodness, and hope that my wish list doesn't outpace my purchasing power. I'm not always very successful at that. What are you gonna do? You try and you try and you try. But let's dive in, shall we? First and foremost, get that packing list out of the way. We got a Blu-ray here. Blind buy, as I so often do, which is another reason why I don't like to go overboard with Criterion, because I'm already paying a higher price than I would for these movies otherwise. And although I'm sure the quality is always great, I've never been disappointed by Criterion release. More often than not, there is a less expensive version of the same film out there, often in the exact same format, whether it be 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, or whatever. So because I'm going with the Criterion route, I tend to be a little bit more cautious as far as that goes. This is a black and white film from 1940 at 120 minutes. One of my favorite filmmakers, and yours, I hope. This is Alfred Hitchcock's Foreign Correspondent. It is impossible to own every single Hitchcock release, because according to my Wikipedia homework that I did months ago, I have a kitty snooping in my box. Some of his earliest films have been lost. Why am I not focusing here? I understand that a lot of cases, early films, the film stock itself, silver nitrate, and that stuff was pretty valuable. So often when a film got finished with its theatrical run, it was destroyed to retrieve the silver nitrate. So it's a sad thing. I know nothing about Foreign Correspondent. I don't know who's in it. I don't know what it's about. We have, let's see, I see it's an espionage thriller. That's as far as I'm going here. Starring Joel McCrea. That name sounds very familiar to me. And that's okay. I love going into Hitchcock, particularly blind. I have no problem doing so. Next up, Blind Buy. They might all be. I don't know yet. I made this purchase a few weeks ago, so I don't know what's all in here. Blu-ray, 1950. A meager 84 minutes, but black and white. Starring one of my up-and-coming, I guess you say, favorite actors, whom I've always respected but had very minimal actual exposure to. And this is one I think I randomly came across as a title not too long ago. Decided to add it. We've got Gregory Peck, the legend, in The Gunfighter. I've now seen and own, I believe, 2 of his westerns off the top of my head. This will be the 3rd. And again, know nothing more about this other than it's a western and it stars Gregory Peck. That is enough for me. I'd love to have a Gregory Peck marathon, but I don't know if I have enough unseen films in my library at this point to be able to justify one. That is something I shall have to remedy, because I already saw the other two westerns of his I own, and then of course I've got It's a Wonderful Life, and I have Roman Holiday, I believe, in my Audrey Hepburn collection, which I've seen. So not a whole lot of other options there for me at the moment. Next up, Bye-Bye. This is another no-brainer for me, though. From 1950, 92 minutes, also black and white. I wonder if we're gonna have any colored films in this unboxing video. My legend, my man here, right up there with Gregory Peck, possibly higher. We have, that's right, that's him. That's James Stewart, and we have Winchester 73. This is, as far as I know, a highly regarded film. Loving it. Give me Jimmy, give me Gregory. There's certain actors and filmmakers at this point where it's just like, gimme, 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 gimme. If they did it, I want it. And that's okay. I'm liking that. Yeah. Loving the older Westerns. I've been going deep and hard into those recently, as my viewers know. And been almost never disappointed. I think there was one that was just kind of like, yeah, but overall, I've been pretty happy. Next up, I've discussed my title bias on my channel and my videos in the past, and how I will often reject a film, hey kitty, if the title of that film, I have a perception that it's just stupid. And it happens often. It's something I'm working through a little bit and trying to counteract with deliberate, focused efforts to watch those films. One that qualifies, and I have actually rejected outright for a long time, but within like the last year and a half specifically. And I think in this case, this is actually a release within that year and a half time frame, that I rejected it as a new release because of that. And I would have to confirm that, but I just became aware of it as a Criterion title very recently. And since then, things have occurred that have put me in a position to deliberately overrule that. First and foremost, who this film is directed by, because I knew nothing about it other than the title. This is a Frank Capra film. Again, regular viewers are coming to realize I'm becoming a tremendous fan of. Secondly, it stars Cary Grant. Now, I've seen Cary Grant in exactly one film, and that was aforementioned Alfred Hitchcock's North by Northwest. I loved that movie from start to finish, and I loved Cary Grant and his performance in that movie, and it has put him on my radar as a first viewing of that film, to where now I want to seek out other stuff and see, obviously, like, okay, I understand why this guy could have been a great star. I need to see more of that for myself, but off the top of my head, or like my first initial impression of him, I was like, okay, I get it. Now I want more. Long story long, what we have is Frank Capra's Arsenic and Old Lace. Again, I know nothing about this movie. As a title, that turned me off. I can't explain it. I don't try to justify it. It's just one of those things. It's a reaction, an instinctive response. Arsenic and Old Lace. It just doesn't sound like something that appeals to me. It didn't. I was like, huh? Okay, whatever. But as soon as I discovered that it was Capra, I was in. I found out Cary Grant starred in it. That was just further reinforcement that I really didn't need at that point. But I got it. I got it now. Will I love it? I mean, there's a really good chance of it at this point, given my track record with Capra and Grant. So we'll see. Very optimistic. Whereas a year and a half ago, I wouldn't even touch it deliberately. Isn't life interesting? Okay, so that's it for my Criterion collection purchases. I got 4 titles. I guess we're going to call this bonus supplemental footage. This is, I think, what'll end up being the very last crowd-funded independent film that I will ever support. And every time I have supported one, I've opted to purchase a DVD or Blu-ray of that particular film when it's finally released to the public. God, what a terrible case. It's a Blu-ray, and it's a red Blu-ray case, and I will show that momentarily. But this is essentially a culmination of an ongoing independent fan film series. We just bring this up here again. Red case. It's a Friday the 13th fan film. This is Never Hike Alone 2. A Friday the 13th fan film. And this is the special edition of the Jarvis versus Jason upgrade. What's an upgrade about it? I don't remember, other than the case and the artwork. I had to take the original purchase I made for the standard edition, and then later on when they offered this prior to the film coming out, say, hey, if you want to spend a few extra bucks and essentially trade in your standard edition for this guy and get a red case and new sleeve or whatever, there might be a special edition content in here. It says special edition content, bunch of special features, which I don't really care about. I may or may not actually watch any of that. Anyway, what I was talking about, my disappointment with the case is we have no silver embossment of our Blu-ray logo on this red case. And that, to me, says, no. Also, I just noticed this, too. If you can tell, it's a thick-ass case. It's one of my problems with Criterion here. Same thickness. I don't like thick cases. There's absolutely no reason for thick Blu-ray cases to even exist. I don't care what color they are. These are thicker than standard DVD cases, or maybe they're the same thickness. But with the advent of Blu-ray and 4K, we slimmed our cases down. Even with 2 discs, maybe even 3, there's no reason why these things have to be this thick. They take up an unnecessary amount of shelf space. This is already a problem for me, as you can see, and is why part of the reason why I do my own cases. Well, let's get a new case. I don't know, maybe someday. Maybe I'll, this Never Hike Alone series is now, this is its 3rd part. Maybe I can make a little special trilogy box set for them, for myself. And then these big cases go into storage. A little poster, if the same thing of this slipcover artwork. Little signed thank you for supporting our work, signed by people whose name I can't read. I got number 153 out of 1,000. Not bad. Jason will never die because of fans like you. Thanks. I appreciate that. I spent several hours driving and filming Friday the 13th Part 3 filming locations. This guy here, this is Vincent Gustafaro. I think that's pronounced that, Gustafaro. He's the writer and director and all that good stuff, and sometimes Jason portrayal of this film. And if I'm not too much mistaken, I think this is Tom Matthews' signature, but I am not 100% sure about that. It's not legible enough for me to make anything out of. Let's see. Yeah, I'm assuming it is, but I don't know for sure. Always question this. Jason versus Jarvis. So we've got, Jarvis versus Jason. So we've got a last name and a first name. That doesn't really, I know it's a double J thing, but doesn't really ring too logically sound for me on that one. That's, again, just a me thing. Should it be Jarvis versus Voorhees? Should it be Tommy versus Jason? I think I preferred the Tommy versus Jason, but I would have been okay with Jarvis versus Voorhees too. And then there's the disc there. So you've got half of Jason's mask on one side of the face and half of Tommy Jarvis, aka Tom Matthews, there on the other side. So yeah, I got some special artwork and a red case out of the upgrade. Special features I may or may not watch, but they don't particularly have any real great value for me. I have toyed with the idea of visiting the filming location for the first film, Never Hike Alone. I know where it's at. It's the drive that deters me. If I remember correctly, when I first discovered it and where it was at, I think I did a drive estimate on that, and I think it's something like a 2.5, 3 hour trip one way. You try to talk about doing this in a one-day deal, and you're like sick of at least 6 hours on the road, depending on traffic. Maybe spend an hour or so filming. Is this particular series here known well enough to attract enough attention to justify that? I don't know. It'd be a cool little niche thing for my channel, I suppose. And maybe at one point when I have enough location shoots, we can explore that maybe as a possibility. TBD, my friends, TBD. This case doesn't feel like it closes particularly well either. Vinny. Hope you source better cases for your future endeavors. Yeah. That's that. Thanks for joining me. There will be more unboxings to come. As always, I discussed in my most recent Some Dumb Watch episode, I have a lot of sales with Groove and Kino Lorber's March Madness going on right now. That's... I'm looking at some large volume incoming titles. For the 2 or 3 of you that watched the totality of my Black Friday haul from last year, it could rival that. That was pretty insane. I hope not. I really need to whittle that down. So between now and then, thank you. I'm happy that you were here. What do you think of my pickups? Did you pick up anything of your own? Tell me about it. You have any recommendations for me? Tell me about that too. The word box is your friend. We love the word box to become full of words. I like to read the words. I like to respond to the words. And YouTube is now at least intermittently sending me notifications of comments on my videos, where for a couple weeks it was completely stopped. Even just on regular other videos that I would comment on, any responses, I wasn't getting notified at all. Couldn't figure out why. Anyway, thanks again for joining me. I'll see you next time. Good night all. Bye-bye.
Alan.